Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis suggests this to be a variety of herbs. Herbs have been uniformly treated with a pungent chemical mix. Warning: ingesting, smoking, or inserting non-corporation sanctioned substances into your ears may be harmful. Side effects from extended exposure include dizziness, nausea, and unconsciousness. Additional likelihood of organ shutdown and/or death. Side effects. Analyzing. Complete. Substance appears to be a mix. Substances include woolly cow dander remover, sprat oil, and star. Prior analysis suggests these herbs reach peak effectiveness when users burn them and inhale the resulting smoke. Whether or not this increased effectiveness is good for an afflicted individual has yet to be determined.
Fruitful and productive welcome, brother. I had a feeling you would visit me. I offer a wide variety of productivity seminars. I hope you'll consider taking one. But I should remember my manners. To what do I owe the pleasure of the Special Inspector's arrival? My disciples come to and from the Grand Colonial, bringing supplies and information. Knowing what happens at the hotel affects my livelihood, after all. With that said, I'd love to involve you in one of my productivity seminars. We should clear you of all those nasty, nasty humors hampering your potential. We offer a wide variety of seminars for all your corporate needs. Employees not working hard enough? Employees dying too often? It's most likely your managerial humors. And of course, seminars for balancing the energies of your business offices. Interior decorating is much more important for success than many would believe. If any of this sounds at all interesting to you, might I interest you in the first 82 words of our most popular seminar's introduction, free of charge? Byzantines live lives fraught with competition, and that competition can be immensely stressful. You must, first of all, find a way to balance your thinking. Think not of bits lost, but of those you have yet to gain. After all, peace leads to productivity, and productivity leads to profit. Though thought alone won't balance you. We have a strict regimen to promote humor clearing. Session attendees stand on burning coals, sit for hours in our productivity smokehouse, and of course, fast throughout. Precisely. The barriers within yourself will break down as your skin sweats and blisters, giving the evil humors the proper space to escape. It's my patented method. I'm pleased that you noticed. Excellent eye, brother. The compound they're treated with is my own invention, designed to unlock an individual's true productive potential when burned. I can't say any more. Trade secrets, you know. None of my clients have ever complained, so I'm sure they're perfectly safe. Is there anything else? Who said that? I'll be sure to give them a special seminar on not needlessly implicating the person who puts food on their table. It was a bundle of clothing, brother. Even productivity geniuses need to do laundry from time to time. Yes. I suppose the more quickly we get off this subject, the better. I had a visitor, yes. But as it turned out, some of my productivity techniques were too much for them. I had to drag them out by hand. But their peers came and collected them shortly thereafter. I'm sure whichever attendee it was is perfectly safe now. Oh, really? That all sounds like hearsay, brother. Perhaps you're here. I'm delighted to extend my desire. Oh? What would you... I wouldn't necessarily say that. The media tends to exaggerate. I will admit that her remarks about my seminars were rather unfortunate. However, I certainly wouldn't sharpen any sabers over it, if that's what you mean to imply. I only do that when my clients skimp on their bills. I did not. She had no interest in my seminars, and I had no interest in attempting to convert a stubborn actress. Why would I have had any cause to engage with her further? Why, I've been at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve for quite some time now, as my disciples can attest. In fact, I haven't visited the Colonials since I arrived several weeks ago. Bad energies, you understand. I hope you now realize that I had nothing to do with Helen's demise.
It's not good enough to be better than it.
Welcome back, brother. I'm delighted to extend my desire to aid you, brother. How might I assist? Yes, that's correct. She made it clear that my seminars were of no interest to her. Well, I suppose that does complicate things. Clever work, Inspector. It seems even I can't slide my way out of the trap you've so intricately weaved. I admit it. I killed Helen by mistake. Helen changed her mind and wanted to attend one of my sessions. I, knowing the importance of the seminar, desired to truly galvanize her, though not to stop her heart. So when it came time, I chose to double Helen's dosage of productivity-enhancing herbs. I left her to meditate, and when I returned, she was dead. After that, I entered a less than coherent state. One of my disciples, it seems, witnessed me as I dragged Helen's body out into the wilderness. Do you jest? The guests at the Colonial eat no shortage of strange things, but I think corpses are perhaps too strange. The creatures of the wilderness are much less picky. Besides, the hotel is ridiculously far. I couldn't have made it all that way without someone realizing I was dragging a corpse. I'm no medical professional, but that certainly seemed the case. Usually my customers at least writhe or mumble after a session. My productivity-enhancing herbs typically do induce sluggishness, but I suppose they must have been enough to do her in if her constitution was truly that weak. What? Is this some kind of joke? You're an inspector. It's your job to arrest me, isn't it? I don't believe you. I think this is all a trick. You're trying to catch me in a lie. Get me to reveal my productivity secrets. No. Someone must have moved it after I killed her. One of my business rivals, waiting for me to fall into a false sense of security so they can strike. No. You can't trick me. I've finally discovered what's happening. You've been paid off. Someone else learned that I killed Helen, and is going to use that information to blackmail me. You think I'm going to let this injustice happen? Ha! Tell the constable that I killed Helen. It's 1,000 times less miserable than whatever my enemies have planned. You monster! What am I supposed to do now? They'll be here soon. And once they arrive, I'll be powerless. Powerless! I just want to go to prison! Is that so wrong?
Inspector, not a moment too soon. I've just finished my autopsy report. Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae, the occipital bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure. The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food. Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process. She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon Helen. It's almost as if she stopped being an icon and became a human being. I had a feeling you'd understand. I do keep logs of every patient I treat. Despite appearances, I'm not merely a coroner. I'm also the Grand Colonial's only, and therefore greatest, doctor. I'm very pleased with my work. Cedric Kincannon is an outstanding employer. What I'm about to tell you, do me a favor and keep this between us. That's what I like to hear. I'd much rather work for Slug than Rizzo's. Rizzo's makes a great show about the happiness of its workers, but I think it's all rather artificial. I'm paid well. I work hard. I'm given respect and a reasonable degree of freedom. Cedric Kincannon runs a tight ship. Most of us enjoy working for Slug. Will there be anything else?
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector? I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it. That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
What floor would you like to visit? Next stop, the finest seat in the house. What? If you see Black Hole Birdie, be sure to get an autograph for me. Just joking. I've already got one. What?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The charred fragments of a letter lies at the bottom of this wastebasket. Unfortunately, most of the writing is beyond recovery. The words station, meeting point, and emergency are all that can be discerned.
Station, meeting point, emergency. You think it's talking about the atmospheric station? Or maybe the
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. A single footprint, size 10, tossball cleat-sized. The soil in this residue contains a very high concentration of oxygen. Well done, Inspector. The weather monitoring station at the pilot house substitutes for a terraformer. The soil in this footprint likely came from there.
We're all seeing that woolly cow, right?
Timeline discrepancy. Multiple discrepancies detected. First discrepancy. A woolly cow is present in this hotel room. Woolly cows are an import species for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve and are incapable of affording upper-class accommodations. Second discrepancy. This woolly cow is dangerously inebriated with Rizzo Spectrum vodka. Alcohol sanguinization ratio exceeds recommended maximum. An accurate observation, Inspector. This woolly cow is suffering from symptoms consistent with a hangover. A brief survey of this area reveals that the most recent occupants were athletes belonging to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Club. Insufficient data. A brief survey. This unit was likely occupied.
Zeke Hannigan, Rizzo's Rangers 16th back. Pleased to meet you. What can I do for you? About half my life. You know I was named third most profitable investment on 2 non-consecutive seasons? Ain't a lot of players who can make that claim. Except for the guys who came in first and second, I guess. I spent the last season injured and almost got sold to the Hephaestus Hammers, but now I'm all convalesced, ready to lay into some Cleo darlings, you know? Really break some legs. Since it's the off-season, we're helping support the launch of Rizzo Spectrum Brown. Meet the fans, sign tossball cards, that sort of thing. How about you, fella? You after a signature?
Nah, I think I'll pass.
He's just being coy. Anyway, where was I? Just between you and me, Rizzo's ought to cancel the whole event out of respect for Miss Helen. We sort of borrowed her from the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve while we were drunk. I have no idea how we managed to sneak her in here without being spotted. Don't worry, we'll return her safe and sound. Mostly sound. Hungover's still sound, right? Oh, you must be that inspector people have been talking about. It's a damn shame about Miss Helen. She was always real good to me and the rest of the Rangers. Birdie's taking it pretty hard. Miss Helen was the love of his life. So, what did you want to know? I'm ashamed to admit it, but me and a couple of the other Rangers spent the night in Constable Keen's cells down at the spaceport. We didn't do anything serious, just a bit of pranks and vandalism. It's what usually happens when we all get to drinking. Guess Constable Keen saw things a bit differently and had us hauled off. No, we lost him somewhere along the way. Or maybe he managed to get away? I can't rightly remember. But he was definitely not sharing a cell with us. That much I know. Oh, Brady was mad about Helen. He was certifiable. The big galoot loved Helen about as much as he loved the game. Trouble is, Brady was not blessed with an abundance of temper. Helen kept Brady steady. If he lost his temper around her, it'd be because something broke between the two of them. What? Law, no. Birdie's got a fierce temper, but there's no way he'd ever have laid a finger on Miss Helen. Miss Helen was outspoken. She made her share of enemies on account of her expressing herself. Just between you and me, I heard rumors the Prophet never much cared for Helen's brand of blunt honesty. What can I do?
Wish I could do that.
Wow, how'd you do that? Can't keep us out.
Initiating banter protocol. Now simulating familiar and welcoming demeanor. Burbage 3001 is trained to recognize all board-approved actors. Greetings, fellow star. Your performance in Maverick Johnston's latest drama was memorable. Burbage 3001's programming is frequently upgraded to adhere to board-certified standards. The most recent upgrade was performed by Spencer Woolrich. Banter protocol exhausted, reverting to default behavior, grieving and despair. Oh, Halcyon Helen. May your atoms be commended to the Aether. Burbage 3001 was designed to disrupt Halcyon Helen's monopoly over the Aetherwave serial market. This unit's programming is based on Helen's most famous roles. Burbage 3001. Anything Halcyon Helen can do, this unit can do slightly worse. This unit has been programmed to. This unit has.